Hey everybody, here we go with another World of Tanks match. We've ended up in a half game. This happens quite often on West when you try and play low tiers during off-peak hours. You're going to have to forgive the background noise. The mother of all storms is going on directly outside my window. Like when I say the mother of all storms, I mean the sky is black as far as I can see. And it's actually so bad it's fucking quite severely with my internet. Hence, XVM isn't displaying because my internet connection right now is basically non-existent. Anyway, 2J in a tier 4 match, not quite as strong as in a tier 3 match. There are a couple things here I can't pen. I wasn't sure if I could pen the Lee anywhere, but I knew I couldn't pen in front of Lee. The Lukes I knew would be a problem. And the Panzer IV-A I was kind of worried about, but actually it turns out that was a needless worry. Right at the start, T2 Light drives himself into a wall. I guess he's a bot. And while laughing at this, I drive myself into a fucking tank trap. Good job me. Anyway, Xerxes and Emmy are both in T127, so they can actually kill everything in here fairly comfortably. Remembering the Lee's armor isn't actually that great, and the T127 does get the 45mm gun, with quite good handling too. So as long as they can tag team it, they shouldn't have too much trouble dealing with it. Chiha immediately finds the Panzer 1C and the T2 Light with his face. It doesn't really do him much good. And he gets finished off by the enemy Artie. The Panzer Selbstfahrerfett 4B, which is one of the stronger low tier Arties. And I hope I said that right. Anyway, the 1C tries to get past me and loses a lot of hit points in doing so. I can afford to ignore him for now. He has to get very close to me to even have the vaguest hope of damaging me. And even then it's unlikely. The Lukes, which is probably the biggest threat on the enemy team to us actually, was busy dunking on my platoon mates, on Emmy specifically. And so I get his attention. And although he puts a good clip into me and sets me on fire and fucks up my engine, and as you can see there I was in a bit of a panic and didn't even manage to auto-aim him. Even though he does that, I'm able to survive it, and with a little help from Emmy, we take him down. Of course, his gun is one of the best guns below tier 5. Well, even at tier 5, it's still one of the best guns. It is an autocannon, and it has better pen than the 5cm long gun that the Lukes previously had and that the Panzer III uses. We clean up the 1C and then venture forth towards our cap. I know the Lee is down there somewhere. I don't want to end up fighting the Lee face first, but for now I've got to worry about this guy instead, using the derp gun, so he's not really a threat to me. And I finish him in style. Pop goes the weasel. Now, if you're wondering why that managed to rack him so easily, it's because the ammunition in German tanks, World War II German tanks, is typically carried in the hull panniers, the sides over the track, below the turret ring. There's also usually other locations like behind the driver, the turret bustle on the King Tiger and the E50 and so on, but the hull panniers are the most likely place for ammunition storage. So if you have a broadside shot at a German tank, aim just beneath the turret ring, you'll probably hit its ammunition. I get the Lee's attention after it takes out Xerxes, which allows Emmy to roll up behind it and put some shots in. Unfortunately, the Lee comes straight at me and I just don't have the mobility to get away from him, and I also don't have the pen to do anything to him. But his target fixation on me, something which is incapable of hurting him, means that Emmy, something that can hurt him, is able to roll up behind and pop a cap in him, commissar him, and take him out of the battle. So now it's just Emmy and the enemy Artie. But this isn't a one game yet. The reason being that the enemy Artie, of course, is turreted. It has a gun which will one-shot Emmy if it even lands near him, let alone if it hits him. And it's actually quite mobile. So it's not something you want to be charging at. The Panzerfahrwerk 4 is very adept at shotgunning. More so than the old SU-26 used to be, I would say. Now this is actually really interesting, these half matches where you have less than the full count of players. And as you can see, Emmy's not about to challenge that thing's gun. He wants to draw it around the corner where he is the one that's sitting pre-aimed, not the Artie, and that's exactly what he does. Using the debris pile, which the Artie cannot fire over, he tries to bait it towards him. And then he gets a nice shot, well, prepares to get a nice shot through the gap, but the Artie's already looking at it, so it's best not to chance things. He's trying to distract it here, and the Artie decides he's having none of this and begins to back off, which gives Emmy the chance to roll out and get a shot. Artie throws his hand, and then Emmy cleans him up. As I was saying, this map with actually a half-team roster instead of a full-team roster is really interesting, especially with these little low-tier tanks. I'm actually, after this, I kind of want Wargaming to make a battle mode where you can basically just roll low tiers in this setting, not the what used to be 749, I think it's now 752 or something. Not that, but actually a low tier one, kind of like the junior tank companies, except with, you know, a limit of 7 vehicles and on this map. Because it seems to be a really good one for being able to just sneak around people like that. Far better than Himmelsdorf. I actually, this and Kharkov, I think, are the 2 maps that really are the most interesting to play in the whole game, because they just have so many flanking routes, so many hiding places. Sorry if I sound a bit blocked up, my hay fever's going a bit nuts again. But yeah, these 2 maps offer a lot of different viable flanking routes, and I think that makes them really interesting, particularly with these dinky little tanks, because, you know, the low tier tanks tend to die quite fast. The game plays totally differently with them, so I'd be interested in seeing that as an official game mode. Whether it happens or not, I'm not sure. Obviously, you would need to get people to play it, which could be a problem. Nobody really plays tank companies at all anymore, especially juniors. And you know, if you rock up to a team battle with an all low tier roster, people are just going to laugh at you. But I do think there would be some merit in that as a game mode, because it's really fun for more experienced players, and it might give the newer players a bit of a more friendly learning environment than throwing them into high tier matches against players that they have no hope of beating in a 3-lane Dota map. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you could hear me over the sounds of an awesome demonstration of nature's power in the background. And I will catch you next time.